All right, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're coming back, thank you. I've got another 25 books back from CGC just an hour ago. I've gone through them really quickly. They all look great. And it's good to have them here in person instead of a virtual showing, as it were. So what I'm going to do today is what I always do, and I'm going to go through all the books in 3 videos. I'm going to do the first 8 in this video, I'll do the second 8 in the next one, and then the final 9. Trying to keep it around 10 minutes at the moment and seeing how that's going. So what I'm going to do is I'll go through every book and I will tell you what I did to it. I will tell you what it cost me, and I'll tell you what my expectation was back from CGC, and then we'll do an unveiling and see what we get back. So we're going to kick off with Amazing Spider-Man 236 Newsstand edition. It's a great tarantula cover, and I received this, cost me $17. Thought it looked really great, but there is a tick near the bottom staple that I thought would limit it potentially. There was a small stain, did a bit of stain removal, that came off beautifully, and I actually thought it was going to come back as a 9.8. So it was in pretty good condition. The bottom staple was a risk, but 9.8 was where I thought it was going to land. I sent it to CGC, and they said 9.6. Not the start to the submission we want, but it's the submission start we got. So yeah, beautifully. Yeah, I can see a bit of a strain on that bottom staple. And the greater notes we should check are spine stress lines to the cover. So yeah, they've just called that out, and that's fine. So moving on to Amazing Spider-Man 258 Newsstand edition. It's a great cover. Got Reed Richards discovering the black suit is a symbiote, really start leading into the whole Venom storyline through all this. And yeah, in a 9.8, it's worth a fair bit. It cost me $13, and when I got it, it was never going to be a 9.8. It had some ticks and a tick on the top staple, and there was a small light crease on the back cover on the bottom left. So I thought maybe 9.2 was where it was going to max out. Sent along expecting around that mark, and CGC said 9.6. So that's a lot better than I was expecting. What are the greater notes? Spine stress lines to the cover. All right, so that's a good book to have a 9.6. And yeah, I can see the spine stress lines there. So that was always on the cards. Moving on to Amazing Spider-Man 294 Direct Edition. This is the Death of Graven iconic series. I know this is the actual book where he dies. So I received this and it looked in pretty good condition. It cost me $24. It had a couple of ticks and a mark near the top staple, which I reduced as much as possible, but I thought it was going to be a 9.6 most likely, with a chance at a 9.8. Gave it a bit of going over, a few presses, and gave it its best chance, sent it to CGC, and they said 9.8, white pages. That's a great outcome. That's a lovely book to have in a 9.8, so I'm pretty happy with that. And yeah, that one's already been sold. So I've, oh, bit of dust there. Even though it's been an hour, I've got some private buyers now that are interested in some of the slabs that come through, so that was one that got snapped up pretty quick. Moving on to Amazing Spider-Man 308, classic McFarlane cover. It's featuring the Taskmaster. Yeah, just as it there. So this one cost me $21. The back cover bottom edge was a bit rough, possibly from a dull printing blade. And what's interesting is the front cover also has some rips. I'll put a picture up rather than try and accidentally reveal the grade. It looked like they were done by a cutting blade during the manufacturing process. So I wasn't sure if that was going to get ignored, but it may not be a common defect, and that was the risk. So I was expecting it to come back around a 9 if those rips were assessed harshly. So CGC expecting around the 9 mark, and got 9.4. So that's a little bit better than I was expecting. And the greater notes are multiple tears to the left top of the front cover. Yeah, so I would have put a picture up of them, and I think that's a fair grade for that. It looks beautiful otherwise, very flat. Moving on, to Amazing Spider-Man 315, another Todd McFarlane cover. So this one is, it says Hydro Man on it, but really it's better known for the first partial appearance of Venom on the cover. Received it, cost me $34, but it looked really good. Had a tiny bindery element on top of the spine, which I was hoping would not limit it. And if this came back in a 9.8, it'd be going in the PC, because I don't have it at a 9.8 yet. So I was very hopeful, and I sent it to CGC expecting a 9.8. 9.8 white pages. So that's fantastic. So that one's going to go to the PC after this. And I love this book. I've always loved this cover. I don't know why. I bought it. I bought a copy of it off the newsstand as a teenager, and just it's always resonated with me. Which leads us to the next book, Amazing Spider-Man 316 Newsstand Edition, the first full cover appearance of Venom, an iconic book by McFarlane. So this one cost me a fair bit. It cost me $118, and it came with a lot of tanning. I know I've got pictures of it, so I'll put them up, what the tanning looked like before. And it had a few finger bend creases on the top middle and the bottom right, some bends. It had a fair bit of wear. And I was a bit worried that the tanning removal might not be as smooth as some of my earlier work was, and it might have been flagged. So that was always a risk, but as you can see, it's a blue label, so it didn't. I was expecting around an 8.5 for this, just because of the issues, a few little creases, and there's still some light tanning on it. So seriously, you see expecting an 8.5 and received 9.2 white pages. Wow. That's a great outcome. And the greater notes are spine stress lines, crease right top of front cover. Yeah, and there's a tiny crease. If it's not visible, I'll pop it up in an overlay. Otherwise, really nice. Definitely some spine ticks. The back still looks a little bit like it's a bit tan to me, but the copy can be affected by tanning quite substantially. But it looks much better and a good grade. Moving on to the second last book of this part of the submission, which is Amazing Spider-Man 317. So another McFarlane cover. I really like this one actually. It's very cool. Cost me $29, and it had one negligible tick. That was it. That was my only comment on it. It had one tick, and the rest of it was sharp, beautiful, and looks great in the slab. So I sent it to CGC expecting a 9.8 and got 9.8 white pages. So that's a great result. And this one's been snapped up as well. It's already sold. And they'll be very happy with that beautiful, beautiful copy of 317. Look at that. Oh, it's glorious. Very nice. Moving on to the last book of the first part of the submission, which is Amazing Spider-Man 323, Direct Edition. Another McFarlane classic. I love Todd. Cost me $13, pretty good price. It had a bit of strange gunk and something missing from the top of Cap's glove. Not sure if you can see it. I'll blow it up if you can't. Otherwise, it looked pretty good. And I thought there was a bit of a newsstand line through the logo there as well, which I did try to clean up, but there's only so much you can do, and a few negligible ticks. I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but I thought it was going to come back around the 9.6 range. Sent it to CGC, expecting 9.6, and got a 9.8 white pages. So that's fantastic. Yeah, so that one's already sold as well, been snapped up. The McFarlane covers are very popular, especially around this time of year with him doing a signing at CGC. So yeah, that concludes the first part of the submission, the first 8 books, and some great results already. So that concludes the first part of the 25 book submission, which is the first 8 books. We've got a lot more to come and some great results later on. So stick around, make sure you like and subscribe, and that way you'll be notified when the next one's out. And yeah, thanks for watching.